Welcome back, peeps. Thank you for tuning in the Band of Bros channel, where we're always taking a look at the newest tips and tricks in the Call of Duty universe. Today, we're going to be taking a look at what are the best settings for your console, regardless if you have the old gen or the new gen. I'll be going into a couple of things in the new gen PS5 settings as well. But most of these settings apply for everybody out there. So hopefully after these settings, you will be improving your gameplay just by moving these settings and maybe tweaking a little things that you guys don't understand about the settings or what exactly do they mean. I will be going over all those things in this video. If you guys do enjoy this kind of content, please remember to like and to subscribe and turn that notification bell on. It deeply helps me out a lot, because if you guys didn't know, 91% of you guys who watch my videos are not subscribed yet. So if you do, I would deeply appreciate it. And with that being said, let's jump right into this video. So like I said, I will be playing on a PlayStation 5, so these settings are on a PS5. Some of these are unique to the PlayStation 5, but most of this, like I said, does pertain to all of these settings. So first off, let's start with the controller settings. The sensitivity, honestly, I've always said this before in all my videos, but it really depends on what you play. I feel it's around the same sensitivity as Modern Warfare and Warzone. It may be a little bit slower in my opinion, but I have this at 9.9. Then something a little bit differently is the ADS stick sensitivity. That means while you're aiming, the sensitivity while you're aiming. Something different than Modern Warfare is that the low zoom is actually with a magnification of 4 times or lower. Before in Modern Warfare, I believe it was red dot sights and iron sights. So just to be aware of that. I didn't move this, honestly. I thought it was pretty good. And then the only thing I hate is you can only move 0.10, 0.10. In Modern Warfare, it was a lot more, like you could move 0.01, which was definitely a lot more precise. So it's going to be a little bit harder. So I had this at 1.20 and 1, but just to be aware that it moves in 0.1s, which kind of sucks. For the button layout, one of the best things I can recommend you guys, I'm going to put the full video in here. It's a Modern Warfare video, but I'm going to show you why tactical is basically the best thing, the best button layout that you can play. It basically switches the melee attack and the prone. So now instead of, you can basically, it's a lot easier to drop shot. Again, I'll be putting that video in the screen right now if you want to have the full thing. And with PlayStation, I've just always shot with L1, R1. Again, I did a video on that, but you basically shoot a lot faster with L1, R1 than with the triggers, which is L2, R2. If you're on Xbox, this doesn't really work, but with PlayStation, it does. So I flip these up. And then another of these, you don't really need to worry anything about this. The controller vibration, I always have it enabled. If you have a PlayStation 5, like that new controller, definitely want to have this enabled. It is so sweet when you fire or do anything. Now, the trigger effect, this is something uniquely for PlayStation 5, which, as you guys can see there, trigger effect provides feedback via resistance and vibration on the L2 and R2 buttons, giving feedback for tactile elements in the game. This is basically when you're aiming with L2 or firing with R2, you're going to feel different sorts of trigger, and this is insane. Again, if you want to check this full video out, I'm going to put that video in the screen as well. This one is a must watch, because what the PlayStation 5 controller did with the triggers, it is insane. I recommend you watch that video on, and I have it enabled just because. But if you are shooting with L2 and R2, I would recommend you to disable this one if you're playing multiplayer. And then the vibration intensity is something pretty cool that you can adjust here, but I like the vibration on the controller. It feels so good, so I'll leave it at 100. And then the aim out, this is something we're going into the aim assist. This one I kind of hate. It's not as precise as Modern Warfare, as you can't change the when you're moving and the exact aim assist. So the aim down sight aim assist, this is only for, as you guys can see, only for campaign and zombies, so I have that enabled. The only thing they allow you to move within the aim assist world is the slow down aim assist and the strafing aim assist. So basically, if you have it enabled, when you aim around a target, your ADS is going to slow down a little bit, and your movement of your player, so the strafing, is going to be a little bit slower as well. If you disable that, it's going to be like if you wouldn't be aiming at anybody. But I definitely have this turned on. I will be making a video on the aim assist of this game, because Cold War multiplayer aim assist it's retarded. I don't know who made this game, but aim assist in this game, I swear to God, you can't even see the dude, and it looks like if you're hacking and you're just tracking the dude with your ADS. it is crazy, and there's no way to turn it off. Like I said, the aim assist in this one is only for campaign and zombies. Then for this airborne mantle behavior, make sure you have it on automatic, which basically means that when you're flying, when you're in the air and you're about to grab onto something, or I mean jumping from place to place, you don't have to click X. It'll automatically vault to that place, which is something always pretty cool. And then usually don't move any of the aim down sights behavior or any of these. For the armor behavior, I used to have apply all, but then sometimes it happened that you click. So for example, if you click that once button to put your armor, you'll put all of them at the same time. But sometimes I realize that it just kind of messes up to cancel. Let's say somebody's pushing at you and you only have time to put one plate, but you have to put it on, and then it messes you up. So I honestly like the apply one. That is just my personal opinion. And then this one doesn't really matter. And then for the stick layout, you can move, you know, either just don't really touch these. Now, this is basically like the dead zone. I do like this a little bit better than the Modern Warfare one. So this is the dead zone that we have in Modern Warfare. This is basically for the controllers that are old or that move by themselves. As you guys can see, it adjusts the inner range in which the left stick inputs will not be registered. So obviously, the bigger the number, the bigger the area at that you know, the inner range of the circle won't be detected. So you know, when your controller moves a little bit, just move this up. This is left and right, and then it does have maximum and minimum. The only one I moved was the right stick, which is the one that you aim, because I do have a new controller, obviously the PlayStation 5, so it's not old or anything. So I moved it down a little bit just so I can have better aiming while I am while I'm moving this. But the moving one, I left it at 10. So if you have a good controller and doesn't move, I recommend you to just to bump this one down a little bit, because it will be more sensitive when you're aiming, and that is kind of what you want. And let's go ahead. Controller sounds again, I have it enabled. And then the auto sprint is something that I have enabled. I've always loved this. So basically, just with you moving your stick forward, your dude will start running. But as it says right there, it would not cancel any other things. And then sprint cancel reload, I always have this on canceled. And basically that is going to be it. Now let's jump into the graphics. We got a couple of cool things in here. Let's go into colorblind modes. And colorblind type is a little bit different than Modern Warfare. I usually used, I think, this one or this one in Modern Warfare. But for this one, I'll leave it disabled. And then you can actually change the colors of what your allies and stuff like that. And I did change them. So it's just my recommendation. I left this on default, which is your personal character. The ally color, I moved it on this one because the other blue one, it can get lost sometimes in the minimap. Again, all these colors are so you can detect them a lot easier on your minimap. Then the enemy color, the default was this one, but I chose this one, just a brighter, more contrasty red. And for the party, it's always been green, so that's why I switched it to green, because blue and blue can kind of get confusing. So you definitely want to know where your party is and what your homie is. It's definitely a lot easier if you're playing with him and he's right beside you. You'll know that it's him and not your not one of your teammates. So definitely move that a little bit. And then for the field of view, if you guys didn't know, either if you have the old gen or a new gen, you can actually change the field of view. So obviously the lower the field of view, the more zoomed in your screen will be, but the less you'll see from the sides. I have it at 109. This is something that I've been playing at and I kind of enjoy. The maximum is 120, but I think it's way too far. A lot of people play on 110 or 120, I believe. But yeah, 109 has been working perfectly for me. And then the ADS field of view, this is basically, if you have it on independent, when you have field of view on, you know, a lot further, that means that you can see more from the sides, but the middle of your screen is kind of further away. So if you have independent, when you're aiming down sights, again, this is only for zooms that are over than 4 times. So sorry, less than 4 times. So for example, if you got an iron sights, a red dot sight, and you aim while having that field of view higher, you won't really zoom in. That's when you have independent. If you put affected, that means that you've got that greater field of view, and the second you aim with a red dot or whatever, it kind of zooms into you a little bit, and you just have to get used to that because it's kind of annoying sometimes because it really zooms you in sometimes. So you just have to get used to that, but I definitely have it in affected because if not, when you're aiming down sights, it may seem that the players are kind of far away. So I definitely do have that on affected. And then ray tracing, if you got the new generation, you could put ray tracing on. If you guys don't know what it is, it's basically like the reflection. So for example, in the puddles or in windows and stuff like that, you should be able to see your reflection. Your reflection. God damn it! I didn't notice right now. Usually Cold War isn't really that advanced with ray tracing, so you wouldn't really see an FPS drop or anything like that. I haven't really seen it smoother and smoother. I'm actually going to turn this off just because I don't really see the need in this one. You know, you're looking at enemies. You're not really looking at the beauty of the game sometimes. So I'm going to turn it off just to see if it, you know, affects in any way, but I don't really think so. And then for the motion blur, this one is on. They always have it on, which is the dumbest thing ever. Remember, always turn your motion blur off. And then here, remember, go ahead and turn the music volume down a little bit, because sometimes the music volumes can be while you're playing the game, and that can be pretty annoying because you want to hear everything in the game. And then have sound effects and dialogue. Always dialogue, I do put it down. I forgot to put this one down. Dialogue, I do bump it down just a little bit. This is when the players say, you know, enemy UAV or enemy dropping in. So you do want to have it a little bit high, but just not higher than hearing the parachutes and the footsteps and all that sort of stuff. And then for the audio preset, this was actually really different than Modern Warfare. In Modern Warfare, I told you not to use high boost because it was one of the worst ones. But for some reason, I'm not sure it's the PlayStation 5 or what it is. It's just different. I'm not sure it's the game, whatever, but I kind of like high boost on this one. I tried all the other ones. I don't really see that much of a difference. I think Modern Warfare had definitely a lot better audio presets. Cold War's audio just seems kind of shitty in my opinion. But high boost has definitely been working out. This is like a personal thing, just depending on the console you have, depending on the headphones you have, depending on the TV you have. All those things come into play. So just go ahead and test them out and make sure that you choose the best one for you. And then for this one, I like it enabled. So it basically will make a little sound effect when you get your hit marker sound. So it's pretty cool as well. And for this one, we got nothing. And then let's move on to the next one, which is the interface. And then this is where you can switch some cool things on. I always disable subtitles. They're really an annoying part of the screen that you really shouldn't have. And I always take subtitles off. I don't know why people have them on. Definitely not. Crosshairs, definitely want to have this on. And then this is where some people hated the health bars and stuff like that. I do take my ally's health bar off because sometimes that can be in the way. Let's say if you're shooting through an ally and you have that health bar, that's an extra spot where you can't see. So I have this hidden because I really don't give a fuck what my ally's health is at. So you can turn that off. And then if you go down here to the enemies, you can have the zombies one. Where is the enemies? Literally, here we go. What an idiot. Enemy health bars. I do have this one on. It really helps you out. People hate it in the beginning, but it's one of the most OP things because if you shoot him and you can see his health bar and you know if he's low, you know if you can either go push him or how much health he's got. So I think this is really important. And then for the player's name, I have it on full name because that occupies more of the area. So when you're aiming at them far away and stuff like that, it's going to be a lot easier to detect him when you put the full name. So don't put the icon only. I definitely like it on the full name. Have the horizontal compass shown. Obviously, that's something pretty cool. You can obviously let your teammates know what coordinates they're in. And zombies thing, not really. And yeah, basically all those are done, and I don't have mouse and keyboard. Let's go to the last one. Here we can change a couple of things as well. So here, graphic content, I have it enabled. I mean, if you don't want to see blood or the bad language and anything like that, turn this off, but I like to have it on. The profanity filter is on, but I always love trash talking and all that sort of stuff. So turn this off if you like to see trash talking or the F word, the N word, whatever you want to hear. Turn this off if you want to see all that. Friend notifications and all that. There's something pretty cool they added, which was the matchmaking delay. So basically, let's say you're streaming or you keep playing against the same dude in the match, and you know, kind of like when you just played against a dude and you click obviously find a match, and the enemy dude did the same thing, but you don't want to play with him and it's going to put you in the same match, you can actually add a matchmaking delay. So you may, let's say you're streaming or something like that, you don't want anybody to see, you put the matchmaking delay at 10 seconds. So you're going to click start and your match, it's going to say it's already searching for a match, but it actually won't start looking until the specific number of seconds. So again, something pretty good, I guess, if you just don't really want to find a dude, or you can put random. But I mean, I don't really care who I play or if they do all that. So but it's there, so it's something pretty cool. You can also add a code name for yourself. So for example, if you don't want people to see your real name, maybe you messed up on the ID or whatever the hell the reason is, you can actually enable this, and then people will not see your name. Then you can do the same thing for enemy players. Again, I don't know why you do this, but the option is there. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I think I did take a look at everything that was in these settings. If there is something that I didn't explain and you guys would like me to go over, then definitely put it down below in the comment section. I think I went almost over everything, and those were the best settings that have worked out for me. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. I deeply appreciate it. Peace out, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next one.